Statement on the 36th anniversary of the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre and life and death of writer Liu Xiaobao. My name is Mathilda, writer and chair of the Writers in Prison Committee at PEN International, a global movement of writers committed to protecting the free exchange of ideas and promoting the values of literature. I join you today to commemorate the 36th anniversary of the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests and the thousands of peaceful protesters whose lives, ideas, and hopes for the future were so brutally cut short. This gathering is a testament to their enduring legacy, which continues to inspire others around the world. I would like to speak about someone whose life and death are an indelible part of this legacy, and whose moral courage, unwavering sense of hope, and defiance in the face of repression continue to serve as a source of inspiration to this day. Liu Xiaobao lived as a poet, literary critic, PEN member, and Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Born into a family of intellectuals, Liu was among the first class of Chinese students to sit college entrance exam in over a decade following the chaos caused by the Cultural Revolution. He later worked as an academic and writer, gaining a reputation for his provocative literary critiques of fellow Chinese intellectuals. While he was initially in the US when the protests took place, Liu returned to China to support the Tiananmen protest movement and was ultimately responsible for saving thousands of lives by convincing protesters to leave Tiananmen Square before the Chinese authorities carried out a massacre against many of those who remained. In subsequent years, Liu Xiaobao embodied many of the values that came to define the Tiananmen Square protest movement, illustrated by his selfless advocacy for the rights of others at grave personal cost. He was detained for his role in the protest movement just days after the massacre, and on his release, he continued to use his writings to call for human rights and democratic reform. When Chinese authorities banned the publication of his writings in an effort to silence him, he remained defiant in the face of repression and continued to publish his writings in Hong Kong and Taiwan. Over the following years, Liu was detained repeatedly, including being subjected to forced labor and years of house arrest. Yet his spirit remained defiant. While serving a 3-year sentence in a labor camp, he married Liu Xia, a fellow poet and artist who now lives in safety outside China after having endured years of house arrest by the Chinese government. Liu Xiaobao was also an active member of PEN. He was a founding member and former president of the Independent Chinese PEN Center, whose membership includes writers within China and around the world who continue to call for the freedom that Liu Xiaobao was persecuted for. Several of its members are currently detained in China, with many more continuing to face harassments and other forms of persecution for their peaceful expression. In 2008, the year of the 60th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Liu Xiaobao helped to draft Charter 08, a manifesto that called for democratic reforms and the promotion of basic human rights, echoing many of the calls made by the Tiananmen protesters. The manifesto was inspired by Charter 77, a document drafted by dissident intellectuals, including fellow PEN member Václav Havel, that called for an end to the pro-Soviet leadership in his country, Czechoslovakia, and the restoration of democratic rights. Just 2 days before Charter 08 was due to be published on 10 December 2008 to mark Human Rights Day, Liu Xiaobao was detained by the Chinese government and denied freedom for the remainder of his life. Despite their efforts to silence him, Liu Xiaobao's legacy lives on through his writing, inspiring future generations to imagine a world where freedom, equality, and human rights are enjoyed by all. As noted by Václav Havel, despite Liu's imprisonment, his ideas cannot be shackled. Thank you.